We are now recording our session, and this morning I would like to talk about our topic, which is to how do we create um, a table. Okay, so basically I have already discussed this last time. Okay, and you create a table. However, in this lesson, or in this topic that we will have, you are about to create a copy of a table, no? So that means there is an existing table and we will copy that table. Okay, so in the orders table, if you can see um, from the SQL store. Okay, this is the SQL store, and in the orders table, we will take a look at the orders table. Opening it will allow us to see the contents of the different columns inside our table, and currently we have dozens of records. Okay, so we have plenty of records. Let's say we want to create a copy of this table. Okay, and then we create a copy of this table and we call it for example, orders archive. And let's say we want to insert every row that we have in this table, okay, in this old table, which is the orders table, and we will create another table and we will copy all the contents of this table into the table that we have created. Alright, so for example, if we have 10 orders, so like right now, no, you will see that there are 10 orders here. Okay, we don't want to code and insert that statement with 10 sets of values, and that is very time consuming. So today I'm going to show you a very easy technique. Okay, actually it's a powerful technique that allows us to copy a table from another table. So first we need to create this new table. Okay, we need to create this new table. And how do we do that? Since we already have the SQL, so we can copy this one. Okay, let's try to use ano na lang. Okay, use the SQL store. Okay, actually it should be small letter. Okay, and then we create a table using the statement create, and then we create the table. And then what is the name of the table that we're going to create? It should be orders archive. Okay, and then we select all the information from orders. So executing this one will create another table from this database SQL store. So you will see from here how many tables we have here: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So executing this one will let us create another table, and the name of that table is orders archive. Okay, so let's try to execute this statement. So okay, so we can see the created table by refreshing on the navigational panel. Okay, so this is the created table, no? If we will take a look on the created table, you will see a similar, okay, it's a similar copy. It's a copy of the orders table. Okay, so whatever you see in the orders table is the same as the orders archive. Alright, so we have an exact number of columns. However, if we will take a look on the design, no? If we will take a look on the design, no? clicking this configuration tool. Okay, and then let me check here. Let me just move this one. Okay, in the columns, how will I, let me just make this one bigger. Okay, so from the orders archive, no, so let's try to apply this. Okay, so let me just, okay, how can I make this one bigger? Okay, as you can see from the configuration, okay, in the table name orders archive, there is a big difference from the orders archive, no? So I just want to look at this one. Okay, this one. But I want this one to make it big. Okay, so maybe we can okay, so we can unshow, or you can hide the things that are below here. Okay, so as you can see from the orders archive, there is no compared to the orders table, okay, there is the primary key is the order key, order ID, okay, and this order ID is auto incremented. Okay, and compare it to the orders archive table, you can see that the order table is not chosen to be our primary key. Okay, so you see that the table that we created, no, we just copied the orders table, and looking at the configuration of the table, there is no primary key, and the order ID column, this one, no, the order ID column is not marked as auto increment. So kasi dito sa orders table naka auto increment siya, yung AI dito. Okay, but here it has no primary key. This table has no primary key, and the order ID has no mark of auto increment. So when we create a table using this technique, okay, MySQL will ignore these attributes, and that means if you want to explicitly insert a record into this new table, you have to supply a value for the order ID. Okay, because this column is no longer an auto increment column. Okay, so basically what we can see from getting back to the query workspace that we have here, the select from orders, or these commands that we see from here, this is what we call a subquery. Okay, and what is a subquery? This one. So you see that this one, so maybe we can make it like this, and I can have a comment like this. So you can see that this line, okay, is a subquery. And what is a subquery? Okay, it's a statement actually, no? It's a statement. A subquery is a statement that is a part of another SQL statement. Okay, and this subquery can be used, no, we can use this subquery to an insert statement. Okay, so that means we can use this subquery to another statement or to another query. Okay, so that means a subquery is a statement that we can insert to another statement, and it will allow us to do many things, no? So let me show you. First, clicking the orders archive, no? If you want to click the orders archive, sorry for that, so it shouldn't supposed to be like that. So this is our orders archive, right? So if we click the if we right click the orders archive, and if we want to truncate, no, and click on the truncate table. And why do we want to truncate the table? And what is the meaning of truncate the table? That means we are deleting the contents of orders archive. Right now, the contents of the archive or the orders archive are the following, no? These are the contents. And we want to delete the contents of this because this is what although we copied the orders table as, for example, this one, no? So let me add another command here, as, okay, and then we try to execute that one. Okay, so we cannot execute because there is already an orders archive table here. So maybe we can drop the table. Let's try to drop it, and let's try to create again. Okay, so then let's try to refresh. So we still have the, again, no, we still have the orders archive, and looking at it, okay, so these are the contents of our orders archive. Okay, what we want to do now is to delete the contents by truncating it. Okay, so let's try to truncate the orders archive and click truncate table. Okay, there is a confirmation here, so we just have to confirm it by truncating it. Okay, because we want to delete all the table, all the data on this table. Okay, so click truncate, and we can now refresh. No, we can refresh it here, and you will see that there is no data here anymore. No, we don't have any records. Now, going back to the query editor, let's say we want to copy only a subset of records from the orders table into this table, no? Into this table. We just want to copy some subset of this table. Where is our orders table? So let's try to close this one. Okay. Our orders table is this one, no? We just want a subset of this. Okay? And for example, we just want to copy the orders that has been placed before 2019, for example, because I think the 2019 in this case, in this table, is the latest orders of that year. Okay, so we can categorize 2018 and below to be the records that can be considered as the orders that are already archived. What's the meaning of archive? It has been already done. It has already been deleted from the current records. So we can now create a command. Okay, for example, we can create a command that we can select all. Okay, from the orders, we can create where the order date. So as you can see from here in the orders, it's the order date that we're looking into. Okay, where the order date is less than 2019-0101. Okay, so if we want to execute this, no, there's no problem if we don't put some semicolons here to terminate these commands. No, all we want to do now is to select this, and let's try to execute this command. Okay, so executing these lines, no, this line 9, 10, and 11 will allow us to see the order dates that has been archived. Okay, which is from the dates 2018 and below, and we can use these statements in an insert statement. Okay, we can use this in an insert statement into, or let's say, for example, we can create an insert statement here, insert into since we already have created the orders archive table, we can insert it to the orders archive table. Okay, and then we can select all from the orders where the order date is less than 2019-0101. Okay, let's try. So maybe we can delete this now because we already have created the orders archive table, and we have already truncated it, meaning we have already deleted all the records. So we can delete this, and maybe we can execute this one. So this subquery that we have created can be a powerful tool in just copying a selected items on the orders table. Okay, so we are selecting all from the orders table where the order date is less than 2019-0101, and we are inserting it into the orders archive table. Currently, our orders archive has no record. See, from here you will see there is no record because we have truncated the table. But if we execute this one, okay, we have executed it now, so maybe we can refresh this, and you can see that all the contents of the orders archive table has now the content of what we have queried, no, which is the subquery, yung subquery na ginawa natin. Okay, so that is what we meant by subqueries, and we can use the subqueries into insert into command, so that we can only select, as you can see from here, we have only selected these items, okay, these subsets, and we have inserted it into this table that we have newly created. All right, so I think that this is clear to you. If you have some questions, you can ask me. So is this clear to you, or you have any questions regarding this? Is this okay? Is it clear? Okay, if it is clear, can I give you now the exercise? Okay, so I have an exercise here. So looking on the SQL invoicing database, okay, look at the tables and take a look on the invoices. Okay, so if we want to take a look on the invoices, this is how it looks, no? So as you can see from here, we have the invoice ID and the number, okay, the client ID, invoice total, payment total, invoice date, due date, and the payment date, no? So what I want you to do from this invoices invoice table, okay, is it yeah, invoices, it's invoices, no, it's not invoice. From the invoices table, can you create another table called invoices archive? But instead of the client ID that you can see from here, okay, I want you to have a client name column. So you have to join this table. Okay, so let me write to you what I'm talking about para maging malinaw sa inyo yung direction. So let's try to remove this one. Okay, so I want you to take a look at the invoices table. Okay, take a look at that. Saan natin makikita yung invoice table? From SQL invoicing database. Alright, now looking at it, I want you to create another table called invoices, sorry for that, archive. Okay, this is what I want. Okay, and then but instead of instead of client name or client ID, what I want you to have, what I want you to show is we have to have it as the client name. Okay, make it as the client name column. Okay, so you will change it to a client name column. So what you want to do is to you will have to make a join statement here, no? A join statement. So you will use a join statement there, and we have already discussed that from the last weeks that we have. Okay, and then after that, with the clients table, okay, we can use that query in a create table statement. Okay, so what you will do, use that query, okay, in the create table statement. Okay, like what we did a while ago. Okay, also to make this exercise more interesting and more challenging, I want you to copy only, okay, copy only the invoices that do have a payment. From the invoices, you will see that there are null values here. So I just want you to have the records that has payments. Okay, so the payment date, determines who are the client that has made the payment or not. You can see from here, no, the payment date. Where is the payment date? This one. So this indicates that this column determines who are the clients that has made the payment or not. So this is your requirement for this particular. Again, I will repeat, okay, for clarity. You will take a look at the invoices table from the SQL invoicing database, and then you will create another table called invoices archive, and instead of client ID column, make it as the client name column. So I will copy this. Okay, I will copy this, and I'm going to create a discussion. This will be a graded discussion. Okay, and you will paste your solution here so that I can grade it later. Okay, so let's try to have a discussion here. So it should not be here, it should be in the. Now while I'm doing this, you can now take a look on your codes, no, in your script, so that you can create it now. So I will create another discussion. Okay, so this will be discussion 4.2. Discussion 4.2. And this is about creating a copy of a table. Okay, so this is the discussion, and then I will put it here, and then I'm going to open it, and I'm going to paste the instruction here. So this is the instruction that you will see from the, take a look at the invoices table. Okay, and create another table, and then instead of the client ID column, and you have to paste. Okay, this is the direction now. In order to do this, copy and paste the script and the screenshot of your output. Okay, so the requirement for this discussion is to copy and paste your script as well as the screenshot of your output. So kapag ka script lang, okay, hindi natin gagawin perfect ang score niyan, okay? Kasi script lang ang ginawa niya. Pero I want it to see that you also copy the script and pasting it as well as the screenshot of your output. So this is a threaded reply, and then users must post before seeing the replies, and this is a graded, okay? It is worth 10 points, okay? And I will include it in the quizzes, okay? So this is due. What time is it now? 11:07. I will just give you 10 minutes to do this, okay? So this is due today. The time is 11:59. Sorry, this it's 11:07 a.m. So I will make it until 11:17 a.m. Okay? 11:17 a.m. All right? So this is save and publish. Okay? Any questions? So you can now access the topic discussion here, no? And I will later check it. Basta mag-post kayo dito ng inyong ano. So after this, I'm going to explain the solution. But I will see the time naman. Okay? So walang makakapandaya dito. Makikita ko yung oras kung kailan kayo nag-post dito sa discussion natin. When I see that you have posted after I explained the solution, okay, for this particular exercise, that means hindi ko siya i-credit. Okay? I-credit ko lang siya. Okay? Kahit mali, mag-post kayo dito, no? Ang importante, you have tried. Okay? And then I will give extra points for your effort, but not 100% points. Okay? So I will wait until 11:17. Okay? I will just mute my mic.
You are now muted.
So let me discuss the solution for this particular challenge. Okay, so first of all, we need to use the SQL invoicing, right? And this is the database. So basically yan yung una nating atupagin, no? And then we can select, we can use the statement select to select all the records from the invoices. Let's say we have a let's say that invoices can be considered as I. Okay, and then we can join this table, okay, to our clients table. Okay, so definitely this is the clients table that you can see from here. We are joining this invoices table to this clients table. Okay, let's say that clients is considered to be a C. Okay, and we'll have to use the statement using by stating that we are actually accessing client ID, and then we try to execute this, no? So executing this command will allow us to join two tables. Okay, so wala pa dito yung create table na command kasi gagamitin natin to na subquery sa create table command later. Okay, so let's try to execute this. So this will be the result of executing this command here, no? So you can see there were plenty of combinations because we have combined all records from the invoice table and the clients table, no? So but this is not what we are supposed to have, no? Hindi ito talaga yung gusto nating mangyari because there are many records here, no? We have the client ID up to here, up to the payment date, no? This is for the invoices. And from the name up to the phone, ito yung mga clients natin. Okay? We don't want it to be like that. So definitely meron lang tayong dapat na i-select dito, no? So we can change this. Okay? And we can just select, for example, we will just select the invoice ID here. Okay? And where is that? From the invoice table. Okay? We will just select the invoice ID. Alright? And from the invoice table, what else can we add? Okay, so maybe we can add the telephone number here. Okay, and then from the client, what else can we add? We can add the name. Okay, we can add the name as let's call it the client. Okay, and then we can also add from the invoice total, from the invoices, we can add the invoice total. Okay, and then we can add also the payment total, no, from the invoice data table. Okay, invoice payment payment total. This is the payment total. Okay, there is a wrong spelling here that I can see. Okay, and then what else can we add? Maybe we can add the invoice date. Okay, and then we can add we already have the payment total, okay, we can add the payment date. Okay, and then this is supposed to be wrong. Okay, and then finally we can add the due date. Okay, so maybe we can now we can now execute this one. Okay, but however, in the above statement, it says here that we need to take a look on the invoices table, and then instead of the client, okay, in the query, we need to create the table statement, and we will copy only the invoices that do have a payment. Meaning, hindi lahat ng records dito kokopyahin natin, yun lang merong payment. At ang magiging basis natin is that the payment date will be our basis, because kapag ka null ang value ng payment, that means walang payment yan, or it's either walang record of payment. Okay? So we need to create a condition here below, okay, where payment date is not null, because all of this is null values, no? So we need to take a look at these conditions. So executing this command or these statements will show us only these following columns, no? The invoice ID from the invoices table, the number from the invoice table, and then we will have another column called the client, taken from the customers table or the clients table called name. Okay, and then we will have the following columns: invoice total, payment total, invoice date, and the due date, payment date, and the due date. Okay, so we are joining two tables. We have joined the tables now, diba? So basically, ang papakita natin that we have selected these items, no? Pwede rin yung select all, pero hindi natin gustong ipakita lahat. Okay? And then we made the condition where the payment date is not null, because according to the requirement of the exercise, we will just copy only the invoices that do have a payment. Okay? So kaya nga, ang kukunin lang natin records yung mga payment date wherein it is not null. Okay? So let's try to execute this and let's see what happens. Okay, ito na siya. No, we only have how many records where the payment date has a record and no null values. As you can see from here, yung name ng client, no, na-satisfy natin yung condition dito that the client ID will be created as the client name. Okay? So we have joined the table, and then ang lumabas lang ay yung invoice ID, number, client, invoice total, payment total, and then ang lumabas lang ay yung mga payment date which is not null value. Okay? So meron tayong how many records? We have 7 records indicating this one. Now, this is not yet finished, no? Because we need to create a table. We will just use this, no? From here up to the end, we will just use this as a subquery in creating the table. So where do we do the create? Because there is how many table here? We have only 4 tables, no? So definitely we haven't created yet the table. So we can make this. So we will create table. Okay? And then we will create the table, and we will name the table as invoices. According to the instruction, we will create it as invoices archive. So we can copy this one and paste it here. Okay? Invoices archive, and then just use the command as or statement as, and then we can now create the table. This is the table that we will have to create. Now, these are the contents. So from here. So let's try to execute this. So this is now the table that we have created. So we can now refresh this. And you can see from here the invoice archive. And then when you click this one, it will show you the table that was created. And we call it invoices archive. This is the invoices archive table. Okay, indicating our subquery. Ito yung subquery, no? So, ibig sabihin, we can create subqueries and we can create that as a table. Okay? We can create that as a table. All right? So, I hope that this solution is clear to you. Okay? So, again, I am reminding doon sa discussion, I will only grade those who submitted until 11:20. So after 11:20 time, I will never have I will not grade those who submitted after 11:20. Okay? Okay, so I hope there is no question with that. Is our lesson clear to you? Okay, malinaw ba tong lesson natin kung ano yung purpose ng ating lesson? Okay, thank you very much. Now, for another lesson, let me have another SQL file here. Okay, let's try to have the lesson about updating. Let's try to update our table. Okay, updating a. Let's try to have updating rows. Okay, so we can now update rows, meaning we are changing the values of our rows, no? It can be a single row, it can be a multiple rows. So let's start with updating a single row. So looking at the invoices table, okay, this is our invoice table. As you can see from here, so we have seen this a while ago, the different columns associated with the invoices table. Let's say we want to update this particular table, okay, and we can do that by using the command update. Okay, and we want to update, we are still now in the we are still in the SQL invoicing, so definitely there's no need to issue the command use SQL invoicing. So all we have to do is to update invoices. So that means we are updating this table. Okay, okay. And we will set, so this is what we're going to update, no? We will set the payment total. Okay? As you can see from the payments, from the invoices, there is a payment total here. Okay? We will set it equal to $10. Okay, because as you can see from the invoices, there are plenty of but you can see if the record one here, okay, for the record one, the row one, no, this one, you can see that the payment total is 0, meaning there is no payment that has been made here. For example, we want to update this. Kunyari, nagbayad na si customer ID or client ID 2. Okay? And invoice ID 1 siya, no? So, iba yung client ID sa invoice ID. Okay? So, let's pretend that the payment total of the invoice ID 1, okay, has been paid, no, to an amount of $10. Okay? And also, we will change, of course, if there's a payment, there should be a payment date. So we will have to change the payment date. For example, we can set it as, let's check again. So let's check, say it has been paid. So nakita natin yung mga petsa dito ng mga may payment. 2019. So let's pretend that it's still 2019. Okay? But the payment was made on March 3. March 3, 0303. So that is the payment date. Okay? So but we need to include the payment or the invoice ID, no? Because we are referring only to the first row. And our first row is invoice ID number 1. So we will put here where the invoice ID is equal to 1. So executing this, okay, let's try to execute this. Okay, and then let's take a look on the invoices table now. So currently, now without refreshing, the payment total of invoice ID 1 is 0, and there is no payment date, but the value here should not be null. Okay, so if we try to refresh this, okay, you will see now that the record of the invoice ID 1 has been changed to $10, and we also have a payment date now. Alright, so this is how we can change record in a single row. Now, for example, what if we made a mistake, no? Paano kung nagkamali tayo? Okay, so hindi pala si, for example, hindi pala si invoice ID yung dapat nating baguhin. So let's say kunyari ang dapat pala natin baguhin ay si invoice ID number 3. Okay? Eh nagkamali tayo. Nilagay natin yung command na to sa invoice ID 3. Ay sa invoice ID 1. Can we just do this as where invoice ID is equal to 3? Eh nag-take effect na siya, 'di ba? Nag-take effect na siya kasi meron ng record na na-record kay invoice ID number 1, which is row 1. Na paano natin buburahin yung $10 here and the payment date? So maybe we can do is to update the invoices again. Okay, we will issue another update. Okay, and we will set the payment as 0. Okay, we can set it as 0, or as you can see from the invoice table, if you will check from the invoice table, the configuration here, it says here, looking on the, it says here that the payment total has a default value of 0.00. Okay, and the payment date default expression is equal to null. Okay, so what we can do here, so instead of putting 0, we can put it as default, because the default value, okay, sorry for that. And maybe instead of using $0, we can use the default value of the payment total, no? Saan natin nakita yung default value? Dito, no? Default expression is 0.0, and the default value for the payment date is null. Also, we can change this date. Okay, we can change this date into, instead of, di ba nagkamali nga tayo, nailagay natin yan, so dapat lalagay natin dito null value. Okay, so when we execute this one, okay, let's try to execute it and let's try to refresh this table. You can see here that it returned back to its original value, which is the default, or $0, and the payment date now has come back to null, which is also the default value of the payment date. Okay, so we have now refreshed the table, and now after doing that, kasi nga nagkamali tayo, di ba? So we have to correct our mistake. Okay, we need to correct our mistake kasi kanina ang nabago natin ay 1, pero naayos na natin. We're now taking our correction here. So we will now give a value of invoice ID number 3, but this time we will change the default value, no? Let's say nagbago, no? Looking at the invoices, let's say the payment that has been made is 50% only, not 100%. So can we do mathematical expressions here? Yes, we can check as the invoice total. For example, we can change it as the invoice total multiplied by how many percentage of payment. Let's say nagbayad lang siya ng 50%. So that's gonna be 0.5. So we can multiply the percentage of payment to the invoice total. What is the invoice total? This is the invoice total. So meaning ito yung dapat nilang bayaran ng buo, pero ito lang yung ang naging payment niya, which is only 50%. Okay? And then we can set the date, for example. Okay? We can set the date. Where is it? The invoices. We can set the date as the, let's say nagbayad si invoice number 3 ng due date niya, no? So we can just copy this by doing the command here, due date. All right? So maybe we can now execute the query, and when we try to execute that, okay, looking at the invoices table again, let's try to refresh. So you will see that changes happened in the payment total as well as in the payment date. So the payment date was equal to the due date, and the payment total is almost half of the invoice total. So you can see here it's not accurate, no? The 50%, because of the, I think there was a rounding up happened here, no? Merong mga ceiling or floor na nangyari dito along the way. So definitely it's not accurate up to 2 decimal places, but definitely it was only around 50% of the total invoice. Alright? So I think okay na tayo dyan. So are there any questions? So again, so maybe we can remove this and then this one so that ma-clear lang natin yung ilang spaces. Sir, pwede ba makita uli yung syntax? Nang alin? Etong ginagawa ko? Sure, ito yung syntax. Yan. So ina-update lang natin yung invoices na table, no? And we are setting the payment total. Actually, these are the columns na ina-update lang natin. Payment total and the payment date. By the way, pwede pala nating ayusin to, ha. Yan, pwede nating ayusin para maganda tingnan. Yan. Pwede nating ayusin ng ganito para magandang tingnan. Okay na? Okay na, Miss Valera? Nakopy na? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, what if we want to update multiple rows? Kasi itong command na to para lang sa isang row. Paano kung ang gusto nating baguhin ay multiple rows? Actually, this is the limitation, no? If we want to update multiple rows, so let's try to have multiple rows, ha? If we want to update multiple rows, there is a limitation with MySQL Workbench. Okay? Hindi tayo pwedeng magbago o mag-delete ng multiple records sa MySQL Workbench. But we can go to the preferences, okay? And where is the preferences here? I think it's in the file. No, it's not in the file. In the where can we find it? In the edit, okay? Ayan, nandito pala, sorry. In the edit, no, pag click natin yan, we can see that in the SQL editor, no, pwede nating baguhin yung setting natin para makapag-delete tayo ng multiple rows or makapag-edit tayo ng multiple rows. Kasi nga sa SQL Bench, for protection, sinet nila yung default na hindi ka pwedeng mag-delete ng multiple rows. Ang pwede mo lang i-delete ay single row. Pero pag multiple row, bawal. Pero pwede mong iset, no? Ito. You can uncheck this one, no? Save updates. You can untick this one, okay? So that it will reject the update and delete with no restrictions. Okay po? So dapat na ano natin yan, na-untick natin to before we can proceed with the multiple update of our rows. Okay? And click lang natin okay. So now that we have changed the setting of the preferences of our editor, we can now proceed with the our lecture. Maybe we can copy this. Okay? We can copy this. Sundan nyo ako copy this command, and then because we're going to close our connection, okay, and then reconnect again. So make sure that you have copied this kasi gagamitin pa natin siya mamaya. Okay, copy this command or this scripts, and then close natin yung connection. Okay, so balik tayo sa home page. And then let's try to reconnect again. Okay? Yan, okay. So when we reconnect again, okay, andito pa naman pala siya. Hindi pa naman pala siya nawawala, okay? So but you can see we can now without exiting, no? And without entering again, we cannot apply what we did in our preferences. So that is the use of why we have to go out and enter again. Okay, let's try now. What if we want, no, in the invoices, let's try to check the table. Okay, so these are the contents. So based on the SQL file that we have, we want to change the following values, no, of the columns: the payment total and the payment date. But this is only for customer number 3. What if we want to do it not only for customer number 3, but we want it also to be done with customer number 4? Okay, so what we have to do is to select. So lagyan natin siya ng comma, okay? But we have to put it in a parenthesis. But this time, hindi na natin gagamitin yung equal sign. So ang gagamitin na natin ay yung keyword na in. Okay? So that means where the invoice ID is in rows 3, invoice ID 3, and invoice ID 4. Alright? So this is how we can update multiple records or multiple rows. Okay? So if you want to update the whole record, kung gusto mong may baguhin ka lahat ng rows, pwede mong i-comment out to. Yan. Tanggalin mo to. Tapos ito lang ang gamitin mo. Ang gagawin niya, lahat ng records mo ganito ang kalalabasan. Okay? Which is not good, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang gusto natin mangyari. Pero if you only want the invoice ID 3 and 4 to be updated using this subquery, okay? Using this subquery, siya lang yung maa-update natin. So let's try that. Okay? So may error daw. So ibig sabihin hindi okay. So I think dahil lumabas tayo, kailangan natin pumasok uli. So instead of issuing the command use SQL invoicing, we can just double click SQL invoicing and do again the execution. Okay, let's see now in the invoices kung nagbago na yung 3 and 4. Okay, nagbago na yung 3. Of course, di na nagbago yung 3, di ba? Kasi na-execute na natin siya kanina. But the number 4 has changed as well. Okay, nabago na natin siya. Okay po? Any question? Any question? Okay, none. Okay. Let me have another exercise. Patingin uli ng syntax. Sabi ni ayan, yan lang naman yung syntax. Ito yung multiple rows ha. Exercise na tayo uli. Ask ko. Ano yung ask mo, Perez? Sige, tanong. What if po kapag different sila ng i-edit? Pag different sila, single yon. Hindi mo pwedeng pagsabayin yung dalawang row kung magkaiba ng i-edit mo. Halimbawa, yung row 3 para sa payment total lang. Tapos si row 4 naman, ang babaguhin mo lang ay payment date. O di paghiwalayin mo na lang. So ginagawa lang natin tong multiple rows kung pare-parehas ng changes ang gagawin mo sa kanila. Okay? So para lang mapadali yung trabaho natin. So instead na isa-isahin natin ang pag-edit ng row, okay? Pwede naman nating pagsabay-sabayin using these changes, no? So kanina naka-equal lang yan, equal to 3 or equal to 4, but instead of using separate queries, so pwede naman natin pag-isahin using in and then parentheses 3, 4 or and so on. Okay? So can we have a little exercise? So our little exercise is this one, no? Can we have this exercise? No? You will use the SQL database, SQL store database, and you will write a statement, SQL statement, to give customers, okay, who are born before 1990, and you will have to give them 50 extra points. You will give them 50 extra points. So hindi ko to isasali sa because this one is very easy, but I want you to do this, and I will give you 5 minutes to do this. Okay, I will pause the recording. Anyway, so pinatay ko naman na. Okay, pinatay ko na yung kalan, kaya hindi na siya masusunog. Kaya lang inisip ko kung napatay ko talaga o hindi. Anyway, let's continue. Our next topic is about using subqueries. So you understood already what subqueries can do, no? It can be helpful in many ways, no? And we want to use subqueries in updates. Last time we used subqueries in creating tables, but now we are going to use subqueries in updates. Before this lesson, I taught you on how we can change rows. That's the update by using the keyword update. Now can we use subqueries in updates as well? So let's try to discuss that. So let's try to update invoices again. No, we're looking on the invoices, and let's try to set. Okay. Ay, bakit ko ba binura pa siya? Okay, let's just gagamitin din pala natin. Where the payment, for example, where the payment total will be equal to the invoice total, okay, multiplied by 50%. Okay, and then we can also set the payment, okay, payment date equal to the due date. Okay, and then we will set that this is only for client ID is equal to number 3 client. Okay, so looking on the invoices, so we're now looking on the client ID, not on the invoice ID. Okay, where is client number 3 here? Client number 3 is this one, no? And also this one. So client number 3 has multiple orders here. Okay? However, in many cases, no, it's very difficult to search for a particular client kung nakatingin lang tayo sa client ID. Paano kung hindi natin memorize yung client ID pero alam natin yung pangalan? That means, what if we only have the name of the client instead of the client ID? How do we do that? Now, for example, in the clients table, no, let's try to check the clients table. Here are the names of the client, no? So 1 is Vinte, number 2 is MyWorks, and number 3 is Yadel, number 4 is Quiju, and number 5 is Topic Lounge. Okay, so these are the names of the client that we see from the invoices here. Okay, so yan yung mga pangalan yan. Okay, so can we make an update based on the client's name? Okay, client's name alone. Okay, so maybe, for example, we can select the client. We can make this subquery here. Okay, select the client ID. Okay, from the clients, kasi yun naman, doon natin siya hahanapin. And then yung pangalan niya, alam natin yung pangalan niya, for example, where the name is equal to MyWorks. Yun yung number 2, di ba? You remember, ito lang yung natandaan kong pangalan, MyWorks, for example. Okay po? So, executing this query, of course, magkakaroon ng error yan. But selecting lines 9, 10, and 11 only will show us the following. Ibig sabihin, si MyWorks pala ay merong client ID. Pero ang natandaan lang natin, hindi yung client ID. Ang natandaan natin is the name of the client. Okay, which is MyWorks. Alright? So, can we make this subquery here and use it in our update? How do we do that? No, instead, for example, no, let's remove this because we're not looking on client ID number 3, but we are looking on ay, sorry, hindi pala naka-record dito. Naka-post pa rin. Oh, now it's running. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. What if, sabi ko nga, what if nalimutan natin, okay? What if nalimutan natin yung kanyang client ID but we remembered the name? What we have to do is to create a subquery looking for the name of that client or looking for the client ID. Okay? Because we only remembered the name as MyWorks. So, executing this is the output. Okay? Client ID niya pala ay 2. Client ID niya pala ay 2. And then, we can use this to be our subquery here, no? So, we can remove this because this is not our concern. We're not talking about client number 3. Yung pala, ang tinutukoy natin is client ID, client ID number 2. So, instead of putting number 2 here, we can make this whole query or subquery to be included here. Okay, so maybe we can put an asterisk here and put here the select ID client, and we can indent this as well. Okay, in this one, and we put here the closing asterisk. Okay, executing this one. Yan. And then, going back to the invoices, we can now refresh this. So it will be refreshed, and then you will see that the number 2 client, no, this is the number 2 client, which is the MyWorks. Okay, nabago na yung payment total niya. It's now 50% of the invoice, and the payment date now is the due date, as you can see from here. Alright, so ganito natin ginagawa. No, we can use a subquery not only in creating a table but also in updating information, no, in updating rows, updating multiple rows, etc., etc. Now the problem is, for example, as you can see from the clients, no, what if we want to update multiple records? No, let's say we want to update multiple records that are from the states of New York and California, for example. So using the same SQL file, we can change this to the client ID, no, but instead of using equals, kasi yung equals kasi pang single row, but since multiple rows na yung gagamitin natin, so where the state is equal to California and as well as New York. Okay, but we need to put this inside the parentheses, no, yan, you need to put that in a parenthesis, and we need to change this equal sign into in. Okay, as well as here, no, where the client ID in, kasi dalawa na yung pagpipilian natin. Ibig sabihin, dalawa na yung record or multiple records. We are changing the multiple records of the payment total and the payment date of the states in California and New York. The clients that are in the state of California and New York. So executing this one, okay, will give us the following, no? Yan, may mga nabago dyan, no? Yan, nakita nyo. Because there are many clients from the state of California and from the states of New York. Alright? So that's how we can use subqueries in updates for multiple records. So the only difference in multiple records and single record is that the in is replaced, the equal sign is replaced by the in, and of course we need to include the parentheses, no, the parentheses for this both equations, right? So those are what we call the use of subqueries using this particular example. Okay, so another example is that we can also another example is that we can also, for example, we can remove this, okay, so that we can have the same. This is the subquery that we did, no? These are the changes that we want to change in our update statement. But what if we want to select all, okay, from our invoice table, okay, where the payment date is null. Okay, so let's try to execute this. Okay, so what happens? Let me see, hindi ko makita yung error. Okay, there is an error here. May error daw sa syntax natin. And what is that particular error? Update invoices set payment equal to, okay, let me see, let me check. from invoice, okay. Semicolon, it should have a semicolon here in column 6 because okay, because this is another statement nga pala, no? Okay. No, actually there is no need to put a semicolon here because we just want to execute this query, no? In select. So can we just use that one? Okay. We are selecting all. However, there is no, kaya lang bakit ganun, nagaano pa rin siya, where the payment date is null. Okay. Okay. Invoices, invoices pala siya, kaya pala hindi gumagana. Sorry naman. Okay, so yan. Pasensya na kayo, tumatanda na, lumalabo na mata. Okay, so ayan, so yan yung result natin, no? As you can see, we only have 2 records. Right now, we only have 2 records. Kanina, ang dami ng records natin ng payment date na may null, di ba? But since marami na tayong changes na ginawa sa invoices table, dalawa na lang yung lumabas na error natin dito. Okay? So this is just to display. Let me remove this para medyo malawak yung ano natin. So we can update the payments, okay? So from invoices, maybe we can refine this. How do we refine this? So actually, we can delete this part, okay? We can delete this part. And it will have similar output. So, may mali. Okay. So, anong mali natin? So, we can update the invoices where payment date is null. Okay. So, ano yung mali natin dito? Okay. Kasi we are using naman the SQL invoicing. But ano yung sabi niyang mali dito? Sabi niya okay. Nag-execute siya, hindi nga pala tayo nagku-query, nag-update nga pala tayo. So if we want to check now the we can now execute and refresh. So ito na yung lumabas na so nakita nyo lahat na halos wala na tayong null values here, no? Because of that execution. So, yan. Wala na tayong null values dito. Because yung last natin, we want all null values. Binago natin using these conditions to execute. Okay? So definitely this is not a query. This is a command for updating. So dito natin pala makikita yung output niyan pag ni-refresh na natin yung output natin. Alright? So let's have another exercise. Okay? So this is our exercise. So our exercise will be, okay, use the SQL store database. And then you will see from the SQL store, okay, looking from the SQL, there are some tables, no? And then there are some records, like for example in the orders table there are some records here, like for example in the comments column there are some values here or rows here or records that have no comments. Okay, some records have no comments. So what I want you to do, okay, so in the orders table, some records have no comments. Okay, malinaw yan, ha? Now I want you to write a SQL statements, okay, that update the comments or orders for customers who have 3,000 points. So definitely magko-query muna kayo diyan, di ba? I want you to find their orders if they have placed an order, okay? And I want you to update the comments column and set it to gold customer. Okay, can you do that? So I'm giving you this will be a little bit tricky, so I'm giving you 10 minutes for this to finish. Are you willing to have it as a graded discussion? If you want, I can make it as a graded discussion. No. No agad talagang suko agad kayo talaga. Okay, Nain. Nope. Sir, wait lang po, nasira ang SQL. Okay, anyway, sige, exercise na lang muna. 10 minutes, okay? I will post the recording for see kung tama kayo. So the recording is also running now. Let me check kung tama ang inyong mga solutions. So let me see. You have used of course you have to use the SQL store. Okay. So okay, so but for the benefit of those who did not get it, no, and for the purpose of improving more your answer, if you think you have gotten the right answer, okay, pwede naman na yan. May mga nakita ko dito na almost similar naman yung ating solution. Okay, so let's try to delete this so that I can show you the solution for this. So maybe we can since nasa SQL store naman tayo, there's no need to code the use SQL store, but we can create the query select all, okay, from our customers. So basically what I did here is to first query on the customers where the points is more than 3,000. Okay, so this is my first query, and executing this one will show me that there are two people, okay, there are two customers, customer 5 and 6, who are whose points are more than 3,000. Okay, so from here we can create now the update orders, kasi according to the problem, okay, according to the problem, babaguhin natin yung comments section, no? So baba natin ng konti dito. So babaguhin natin yung comment section, and we will change it to the gold customer. So we can now we will just use this as our subquery later on. Okay, so but we can now use the statement update. Okay, and what we are going to update is to update the orders. Check nyo yun sa inyo kung parehas tayo ng sagot Okay, update the orders, and we will set the comments, okay, that will be equal to gold customers, no? We can just say gold, but it's okay right now, no? Okay, but we need to look on it, okay, where the customer ID or the customer ID, okay, uh, and we will now use this query, okay, that we have here, and we will take a look on this. Since maraming magiging result nito, we will not use equal, but instead we will use in. Okay, and then we can, I think we can use the parenthesis and then delete, and then we can now use this and this one here. So we have used this query to look on the customers that has points more than 3,000, and we want them, and we update those orders in which that is the case, no? So most probably tama naman yung mga ano nyo, paki-check nyo na lang kung saan kayo pwedeng masimplify palalo yung ginawa ninyo. Okay, so we can now execute this query. Okay, and then we can check now the orders table, and let's try to refresh the table. Okay, where is the what happened nga pala? Okay, so we set the comments to be equal to cold customer, and then where the customer ID in this one, where the points is less than or equal to ano nangyari? Why is it not working in my case? So anong mga ano nyo dito? Tama naman, di ba? What is my problem here? I am in the SQL, nakaselect po yung hindi wala akong sineselect dito okay, wala ko siyang sineselect. Customer ID lang. Ito, to. Where the customer ID. Tama naman, di ba? Oh, where the customer ID in. Yung select. We will select all. Yeah, tama. Nga pala, hindi na natin i-select tong all because we only need to select the customer ID kasi yun lang yung iaano natin, okay, from our customers table. Okay, so we need to execute now, but so from the orders we can now refresh. Ayan, nakita nyo rito sa comments that the orders table, then let me remove that, with the points, no? Ayan, nakita nyo how many gold customers we have. We have 4. Okay, tama ba? 4 yung lumabas sa ano natin kanina sa dito sa dito sa query natin na to. Dalawa lang okay, customer ID lang pala to. But here repeated orders sila, pero repeated order sila. Okay, pero pare-parehong customer ID. Ito 6 and 6, and then this one is 5 and 5. Alright, okay. So yun yung mga yun, nanonotice yan. Mabilis ang mga mata nyo. Ako medyo nahirapan na akong tingnan yung ganito kaliliit. Nahihirapan ako magbasa actually. Okay, alright, so that's how we can use the subqueries in updates, no? So pwede nating palang gamitin aside from creating table and aside from updating rows, updating multiple rows, we can also update using subqueries. Alright, So before we proceed, okay, so one last thing that we should remember is how we can restore our database, no? Kasi 'di ba ang dami ng changes ang ginawa natin dito sa database natin. So what we can do to actually reset, no? Meron pa tayong kinreate dito ng mga additional table. Paano kung gusto nating ibalik sa dati yung ating database? Okay? So, first of all, if you want to go back, you need to, do you remember the script? Okay? Yung script na, yung SQL script na inopen natin, no? This one, okay? So, click nyo lang yung create database script, this one, and then you want to, you execute that one, okay? And then refresh again the schemas. O, nakita nyo? So, pag nirefresh nyo yan, lahat ng changes na ginawa natin, automatic na re-restore lahat yon. Okay? So, what more do you need to understand? Do you have any questions so far? Sir, ulit po. Okay, so, ayan. To restore the database, di ba kaya tayo nakapag-create ng database dito? Because of the script. Ito yung script na sinend ko sa email nyo. Okay? So, click lang natin yung create database. It will open up this one, no? And then, execute mo lang yan and refresh this. So, whatever it is that you have changed, no? For example, dito sa SQL invoicing, wala na dyan yung invoices archive na ginawa natin, no? Kasi kanina gumawa tayo ng invoices archive. Okay na, Miss Valera? Okay, so that's how we can restore our database. However, in some cases, you will need to back up your database, no? And in your activity, in Microsoft SQL Server, I think there is an activity there on how we can back up our database and how we can restore from the backup that we did, no? How can we restore the database from the backup that we did? Okay, so those are the activities that you will encounter from your activities. So I think we are done now. Okay, let me